So this is everything that's needed for the quintessential milk bread. What I love most about cooking is eating and watching someone else eat the food. I love watching someone that maybe they've never had a certain dish I've made before take a bite, and you see that like split second in their eyes where they're like, that's like really good. That's probably my favorite moment. I'm Kristina Cho. I am a cookbook author and enthusiastic home cook. I feel like I was like born into it in a way to like love food. My grandparents owned Chinese restaurants when I was growing up, and so I was always surrounded by a lot of really good cooks and just really good food. I probably started off as a really enthusiastic eater. It probably wasn't until I was maybe like 13 years old that I actually started to bake on my own. Baking gave me a lot of like solitude and independence in the kitchen. It became a hobby for me as a way to kind of like de-stress from like, I used to work in architecture and also study architecture. And so in my free time, I would just cook and bake and share my food with other people. And it was really fun for me. So my blog is called Eat Cho Food. My last name is Cho. I got it because I've always loved to read food blogs. Just more people seem to like be interested in the food that I was sharing. It feels weird. I think it's weird because I treat Instagram and like the blog as like a medium to kind of like reach the people who are obviously interested in what I want to write, but it still blows me away that there's people out there. I remember the day that I decided to quit my job. I was just very unhappy at my job, and I was like, I don't think I can do this anymore. And at the same time, my current literary agent had emailed me about, hey, I think you have a really good voice and that you should write a cookbook. Like all these things were sort of happening at the same time, and I just took it as a sign from the universe or whatever, saying like, hey, maybe you should give this a try. There wasn't anything that extensively covered these recipes, and also the context and culture. When I got my book deal, I took that as like a really big responsibility to be able to share the stories and the history of Chinese baking so that people who aren't used to it know that this is like something that's been loved for a very long time. It's not like a new trendy thing. Yeah, it's exciting. It's like the highest honor that you can get, I think, in a cookbook, and so that was pretty cool. My first initial instinct when I write like a head note for pineapple buns is talking about how they're my dad's favorite, and how my dad would save up money to go to bakeries in Hong Kong to go spend on a pineapple bun because it was like a treat. I think my background being a Chinese American second generation person like has shaped a lot about me in terms of me as a person and of course me as a cook. And I think from writing this book, it helped me acknowledge that I have all these different facets to myself. My parents, they're both from Hong Kong, and so I have that kind of strong Cantonese, Chinese root in those types of flavor and that style of cooking. But I was also a kid that grew up in the 90s in Cleveland, Ohio. Like I'm very much like a Midwestern kid, and now I've been living in the Bay Area for almost 9 years now, and so I have all these kind of like different facets of my life that I try to express through my food.